Hello everyone. So this is our group. Today the topic we are discussing is global car manufacturer industrial analysis. And my name is Eric, and this is my fellow teammate. And I will continue to my next slides. So this is give a brief introduction about what we're going to discuss. As you can see, the table of contents, introduction, industry overviews, cross-country comparison, similarities, difference, and the future developments. So I will pass the future further topic to my teammate.
Okay, I will introduce the industry overview. This chart shows the actual and the forecast market value of the car manufacturing industry from 2020 to 2029. We can see an overview slow increase, but the forecast compound annual growth rate from 2025 to 2029 is decreasing. Therefore, it speculates that the car manufacturing industry is transitioning from an early majority phase to a late majority phase. Okay, next slide. Oh, thank you. This is data on the market value of the car manufacturing industry in the top 7 countries globally. We select China and the United States, South Korea, Germany, and India for our analyze. Okay, next. These are the products offered by these countries. From this table, we can see that SUV are the largest segment of the car manufacturing industry in most countries, except for Germany, where it is mainly composed of cars. In South Korea, other type of vehicles have a very small share, mainly SUVs. Only in the United States and India is there a significant number of people using pickup. My team member will explain why this situation happened later. Okay, next. Now, more and more people are replacing gasoline cars with electric cars, which presents two major challenges to the car manufacturing industry. First one is increased competition, and the second one is increased demand for supply chain stabilities. And my team member will explain later. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. In this part of our presentation, I will provide an overview of the 5 countries we examined. So let's first start with Asia. China is the largest automobile producer in the world and accounting for about 1/3 of global production. Its growth is policy driven by and supported by nation strategies. In contrast, South Korea represents an efficient export-oriented model. The industry focuses on overseas markets and is known for its advanced automation and strong research and development capabilities. In India, it represents a different picture, a fast-growing young market pushed by rising incomes and price discount. But compared to other developed manufacturers, it still lacks infrastructure and technology. Please, next slide. Thank you. Let's turn into the West. The United States is a hub for automotive innovation, with Tesla leading the way in electric and self-driving cars. Other established manufacturers are investing heavily in digital manufacturing and the clean energy transition. And meanwhile, Germany is showcasing its precious engineering and green industry policies, currently focused on Industry 4.0 and carbon neutrality goals. All 5 countries are shifting towards cleaner, smarter cars, but their approaches reflect their unique economic and cultural backgrounds. And in regional views, Asia is driving the industry expansion through the scale and policy, while Western economies are enhancing competitiveness through innovation and sustainability. So the next part of our presentation will go further to shared challenges and different paths for these 5 countries.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to talk about the similarity, and I'm going to focus on the commonalities across the car manufacturing industries of 5 countries. Although there are different development stage, they are all show similar patterns driven by technology, government policies, and consumer behavior. And the first major similarity is electrification. China, Germany, US, India, and South Korea. These 5 countries are all experiencing from traditional combustion engines to electric vehicles. I don't think it isn't just a business trend, and also it's a global transformation led by governments and supported by industry innovations. And for example, the Made in China 2025 and EV subsidies to make China become a global leaders. The Germany's National Electric Mobility Plan, FAM2 from India, and the Inflation Reduction Act from US. And the governments are playing an active role for giving out tax breaks, funding R&D, and the cleaner production. And next slide, please. And the second common patterns and the second common patterns is in the interdependence in supply chains and in market trends. All countries rely on each other for key materials like chips, lithium, and rare earths. Even China, which is in batteries, still depends on imported semiconductors. And as mentioned, the country's strategies are all aimed to rebuild local supply chains and reduce dependence on others. At the same time, consumer preferences are changing in similar ways worldwide. People are more price sensitive, but also more eco-conscious. That means traditional car makers like Toyota or BMW now they face real competitions from new players like Tesla, BYD, and NIO. So therefore, the rise of electric vehicles, strong government involvement, global supply chain links, and consumers who care about cost and the environment. It is no longer just a national industry, and it is also connected and built on corporations and innovations. And I will pass to my teammate.
The first difference is supply chain advantages and disadvantages. So the first reason is economical condition. We found that the developed countries like Germany, the US, and South Korea, they have an advantage in technology products. China also not bad because they have sufficient capital to invest in technology. However, this also results in high labor costs. However, in India, advantage is low-cost labor force. Then it's because of physical environments. Germany, South Korea, and India, they don't have mineral resources. So that's why their advantages and disadvantages are different. Next slide. Thank you. Then they are different in policy regarding future development. So the first, because of economy, China has a large market supply. That's why they choose to export. It can drive economical development. And India choose to increase domestic manufacturing. That due to lack technology. So they also choose to attract foreign investment. Regarding technology, the US and Germany hope to strengthen their competitive advantage by improving technology. The US have mineral resources, so it launched the Inflation Reduction Act, hoping to bring the entire industrial chain back home. South Korea can only achieve this through technological upgrading and international cooperation. Yeah, next. Thank you. We found that the national policy have shifted from win-win cooperation to securing a core position in the industrial chain. This is two differences will increase with the globalization. The next, yeah, thank you. They all seem the third is car performance by customers. So they all seem like two like SUV, but the reasons are different. China thinks car as a status symbol. The US is driven by individualism. South Korea by multifunctionality, and India by collective, and Germany values quality and tradition. That's why the usage of EV are lower than other countries. The next. Yeah, we can see the figure. With the increasing immigration and cultural exchange and mix, plus global environmental policies, and as mentioned before, buyers' performance for sustainable products. This difference will decrease with the globalization. Yeah, next.
So that will be my part, which is the future developments. When we talk about cars, definitely, everyone will be using in the future. And thanks to my teammate, they gave quite a clear example of how car manufacture happen all around the world. So to talk about the future, I will say, yeah, in the future, car industry will be definitely booming more than ever. People need cars, and I will say from technological wise, car will be more focused on hybrid or more electric, since carbon emissions is very important. And we also talk about the car types. Each country have their own preferred car types for different reasons, but like my teammate said, SUV definitely one of the favorite types. With difference compared with countries, each country have their own political structures, have their own policies, economical structures. I will say, yeah, they all have their own advantage, they all have their own disadvantage. But overall, in conclusion, car manufacturing industry are exactly booming and have a bright future. So yeah, next slides. And will be our reference. As you can see, this is our reference source, what we mentioned, what we used in the slides. And thank you. That will be the full presentations. And that's Q&A, and we don't have a Q&A here. So yeah. Stop recording.